today's lesson we'll work on our intermediate course and unit 4. Here 4 is space. First part 4.1 living on water. Here our goals are talk about living on water, talk about predictions and decisions. Vocabulary and speaking. Living on water. We try to improve our speaking levels and we try to learn new words. Exercise 1. Work with a partner, look at the photos and use the words in the box to describe them. Now pause the video and using the words in the box, try to describe these photos in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. We will talk about Bangkok. As you see, there are a lot of people on a small boats, and I think they are trading there. I think it's just it's a city or it's a market in the sea, and people are going there to buy souvenirs. They're mostly tourists accompanied by local people who are directing them and who are controlling the boat. Exercise 2A. Read the article from a business magazine and look at the photos. What does the article say about each of them? Discuss your answers with a partner. Now you have to look at the magazine, business magazine, and to read the article in it. By looking at the photos, you have to decide which things are mentioned and what are they talking about them. Discuss your answers with your partner. And now let's look at the answers. So, Lake Titicaca. People live on islands made of reed in the middle of this lake. Bangkok. Floating markets, a famous landmark on Bangkok's canals. Maldives. A Dutch company is planning to create a floating development center and use the money to develop artificial islands for poor people from the Maldives. Harry, Hong Kong. At 80 Design is planning to build a floating city that can be reached from Hong Kong by ferry. It will have islands above the water and underwater tunnels and walkways. Exercise 2B. How many of the words in exercise 1 can you find in the text? Underline them. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own in a written form. And now let's check the answers. You can see all the words are in the text except for oceans and waves. Exercise 3. Work with a partner or in small groups and discuss the questions. Pause the video and just try to answer these questions in a written form on your own. And now let's look at the possible answers. 1. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of living on water? Well, there may be a lot of advantages. Well, you can just experience the sea. You can be in nature. You can have fresh air because that you have sea near, because of the fact that you have sea near around you. And there may be a lot of disadvantages too. And the first disadvantage may be having, first disadvantage may be having a lot of noise, constant noise. It can be white noise, it can be pleasant noise, but it is just very noisy. And well, there may be a lot of people who come there as a tourist, and you can have problems with tourists. They can annoy them in other problems related to tourism. Question 2. Do you agree that large numbers of people will start living on water rather than on land? Why not? Well, I don't agree with it because, well, there's no reason why people want to live on water or why people will start living on water, because, well, we're not aquatic animals. We're not animals. We're not like creatures that are adapted to water, and we just don't want to live in water. So and I don't see any reason why people want to live on the water, because we have enough land to populate even trillions of people on Earth. That's why it's just very less likely to happen. Third question. Would you like to live on water? Why? Why not? Well, I would not like to live on water because it's just constant. You can just get sea diseases, and you can just feel nausea. You can just have, well, a constant noise that disturbs you, distracts you. That's why I just want to live on land with other people. Grammar and speaking. Will be going to for predictions and decisions. We try to improve our grammar structure with will and to be going to structures. Exercise 4A. Work with a partner. Complete the sentences with the correct form of will to be going to make predictions. And pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own in a written form by filling the gaps. And now let's look at the answers. 1. The rise in sea levels will cause huge problems. 2. Look at those black clouds. It is going to rain. Exercise 4B. Complete the sentences with the correct form of will be going to for decisions. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own. And now let's look at the answers. 3. You look a bit confused. Don't worry, I'll help you. 4. Tony is going to go to California next spring. Exercise 4C. Check your answers with a partner. Now look at your answers, partner's answers, and just check your answers. Exercise 4D. Read the grammar focus box and choose the correct options to complete the rules. Pause the video and try to fill the grammar focus box with the correct options and the ideas that you think correct. Grammar focus. Will to be going to for predictions and decisions. Predictions. When we want to talk about what we believe or think about the future, we use will. And here examples are for believing and thinking. I think he will pass the test. I think it will rain tomorrow. I believe the place will become a great place for other people. And when there is some evidence in the present or to support the prediction or an action that is starting or clearly on the way, we use to be going to. And here example is, look at the car, it is going to crash. Look at this person, he is going to fall. And as you see, there should be some kind of evidence and context to support the prediction that you're making. And here decisions, when we make a decision at the moment of speaking, we use will. Okay, I will start doing new activity now, or okay, I will start reading this book. When we have already made a decision, we use to be going to. For example, I have already bought a ticket, I'm going to watch this movie. Or I have already booked a flight, I am going to fly to Turkey. Exercise 5A. Complete the block entry about the trip to Peru using will or to be going to and the verbs in brackets. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own using the words in brackets and structures that we just learned, will and to be going to. And now let's check the answers. And today we are going to visit the floating islands on Lake Titicaca. 2. But I'm sure the water on the lake will be quite calm. 3. It's quite cold, so I'm going to take an extra sweater to keep warm. 4. I believe we will be able to ask them questions through a guide. 5. Do you think their children will stay on the island? 6. What effect will technology have on their life? 7. So I will take my camera too. Exercise 5B. Compare your answers with a partner. Give reasons for your choices. Now you have to compare your answers with your partner and try to give reasons, try to give explanations for the choice that you made. Exercise 5C. Listen and check your answers. Listen to the audio and check your answers one more time.
Audio 4.1. So, yesterday we took the train from La Paz, Bolivia, into Peru, stopping at Puno, and today we are going to visit the floating islands on Lake Titicaca. I can't wait. Ever since I first heard about these islands in a geography class many years ago, I've wanted to see them. Actually, I don't really enjoy boat trips, but I'm sure the water on the lake will be quite calm, as it's a clear sunny day. It's quite cold though, so I'm going to take an extra sweater to keep warm. I'm really interested in finding out more about how people live there. I believe we'll be able to ask them questions through a guide. I'd love to know what people eat. A lot of fish, I suppose. I'd also like to know what they think the future holds for them and their families. Do they think their children will stay on the islands? What effect is technology going to have on their lives? I know they already have solar power and even black and white TVs. Just thought, it would be great to have some photos for the blog, so I'll take my camera too. Just hope I don't drop it in the water.
Exercise 6. Task. Work with a partner. Look at the interview questions. Imagine you're someone who lives in one of the 4 places pictured in exercise 1 and write a conversation answering the questions. Don't mention the name of the place. And here the situations are: what is the best thing about living there? Are there any disadvantages? Tell me about a typical day. What are you going to do today, for example? Do you think you will ever move away? Why not? What do you think life will be like here in 50 years? Pause the video and try to do this exercise in a written form on your own, on your paper. Exercise 7. Read your conversation to another pair. Can they discuss where the person being interviewed lives? That's the end of our lesson. See you in the next lessons.